Hi, Milers. This is Beverly of Miles and Coffee. And today it's time for another coffee talk. And I'm doing this a little bit differently today. So it's been a while since we've had an opportunity to just do what I call up close and personal and share from the heart. So um, I'm not at the beach today. But there are more of those videos upcoming. So thank you if you haven't already. Please like the like button if you like what you hear. And if you don't, hit the unlike button. On Coffee Talks, this is just me sharing maybe either a concern or an issue or a topic that relates to those of us who are doing things differently or seeking ways to prepare for pre-retirement or retirement, or just making some much needed changes. That has definitely been the case for me. So as you can see in the title of the thumbnail, what is this new Great Resignation? I'd like to offer 5 reasons why people are quitting their jobs. Now, again, on my channel, these are my views. I appreciate it when you listen, and when you share comments, you might have something to say, to agree or disagree, and we can agree to disagree and be agreeable while doing so. Or you might have an experience to share with others that might help them. These are my opinions, and I would love to hear yours. That's what the comment section is about. And I try my best to read. It's getting harder because there are more and more comments, but I try my best to read them. Okay, so I welcome your comments. That's what I'm trying to say. In my opinion, people are waking up. Part of it is because of the onset of economics at home or with their job, the going inflation, and also some of this is, caused by the pandemic. And in my case, I did resign. So I just realized recently through journal writing that I am a part of this Great Resignation. As of 2019, I did resign from full-time teaching face-to-face. And as my true followers know, I have been teaching on WOW the whole time during this health scare. I remember the day that schools shut down. It was March of 2020. And I went to Walmart after work to get some supplies, knowing that I would have to quarantine because everything was shut down and we were told to stay home. So all of a sudden I realized I had options because prior to the face-to-face job, I had, of course, completed successfully my TEFL, and I had taken the opportunity to apply to several online platforms, do the onboarding process to put myself in a better position for the long term in case something happened. And that's exactly what I did. That night, I was able to pivot, open my schedule, and see what happened. And by the next day, I started to see, wow, I will still be working. It'll just look differently because I am now online. So I was so glad that I had applied to the platforms previously, even though I was working face-to-face and I had received a job offer to help teach English at a school, a language school. So now I'm realizing that I didn't struggle as some people did initially during the pandemic. I was able to work from home and support myself without a glitch. Let's look at some reasons that people are quitting. I believe number one is for more autonomy. People were able to either choose when to work, who to work for, and what to do. And some people even went back to school to give themselves more skills and maybe change jobs, right? Some people either lost a job or a business shut down, companies shut down, or they just started realizing their worth. I'm going to say that one again. Some people during this period where things changed due to this health pandemic, and people just started thinking, I am worth more. And so now I want to make a change. And only individuals can make those types of decisions. And I think we said in 2019, at the end of 2019, when things started changing, the 2020 videos, I started doing the Mental Health Mondays and saying, you know, we are learning that we must embrace change. That was like my theme for 2020 into 2021. 2022, the theme is know your worth and don't apologize for it. If you want more and you feel you deserve more, then you do. And then take the steps necessary to do what you want to do. So I guess we should ask ourselves, what do I want to do? What do I need to do to make that happen? Okay, the number one reason why people are quitting is for more autonomy. Number two, people want more flexibility. You know, if your job where you've always worked shuts down, or you are forced to stay home, then that is a problem. But if you are able to do something different, people just want more control over their time and their schedule, especially if you have children and responsibilities at home. The number three reason is less stress. That was one reason why I knew that it was time for me to stop the full 40-hour a week going into traditional brick and mortar classroom, and then taking work home and doing all of the above, grading papers, grading tests, making plans. Those are work hours at home that are not actually paid for, that are not counted on the clock, if you will. And there are some negatives to that because it does create stress, and then you never get a chance to take off of work. So, you know, the misnomer about teachers is that they only work maybe until 3 o'clock, and then they have summers off, because even during summers, most teachers have to take conferences for continuing education so that you can stay certified. So more flexibility is number two reason. Less stress is number three. Sometimes change is stressful. I recently made another move from across Mexico, and at the same time I was starting with two different companies. That for some people could have been stressful. I just rolled with it because these are choices that I made, knowing that in the long run, this was for my good. So, you know, less stress, more autonomy, more flexibility. There is something to be said about that. So when people are not just quitting, sometimes this is well thought out. Number 4, the opportunity to work from home. A lot of people, on the news, you might hear that people are just not wanting to go to work. I think that's not true. Most people are professionals who are waking up, realizing their worth and saying, there is a better way for me to do what I'm doing. And for example, I work from home. So meeting students online, I don't consider it work because it is my passion. And I thoroughly enjoy my students. Even starting the new jobs, at first it was a little bit disorienting because there's skills going with, you know, working online, and every company has different ways to do things and methods that you must learn, you know. And once you get a handle of the new way of doing something for another company, it becomes a piece of cake. It's like riding a bike, you know. But working from home has benefits, but of course there are some skills like managing your time. That's number 5, managing your time and having the possibility of scheduling your free time when you want to take a break. When you see me making videos from a cafe, that's during my free spots, so that when I'm finished in between schedule, between like morning and afternoon, I might go to a cafe and just sit down and enjoy my coffee, or take the opportunity to get some exercise and go for a walk. But I scheduled that into my time. I used to dream about taking a long coffee break. And so now that is a major part of my schedule on purpose. And I don't apologize for that. Part of this Great Resignation too is just people realizing, you know, to do what I want to do, I would be willing to take less pay. Because when you have less stress, more time, more autonomy, it is worth it. You know, so think about that. But again, we talked about in another video, needs versus wants. Choosing new profession or choosing to work differently will require some well thought out planning about what you need, what you want, and then what you don't need, and what you might need to make changes to accommodate a new schedule, less pay, a new place, moving. Maybe that might be something to think about. But all of these are new ways of making things happen to make yourself happier and less stressful. You know, we always end my videos saying, take it one day at a time and keep it simple. What does that look like for you? And whatever that is, here's another thing I always say, give yourself permission. I will leave a link to this article, or this one was a news broadcast from one of those news journals that come on every Sunday. And it was very interesting. It's a little bit over 10 minutes long, but it's worth your viewing time because there are some thought-provoking problems and solutions addressed in the video. Are you part of the Great Resignation? I would love to hear your comments. Are you one of those that have quit your job? Were you forced to quit maybe due to companies shutting down? Or are you considering making some changes? I would love to hear your experience because remember, your comments might help someone else. So please, please, please share. Oh, before I forget, I usually start my videos with this, but there are some coffee donations. So I have to give some shout outs. Some of these came in during the holiday, and I did not mention, so I want to mention every name. These have come in since the holiday up to the present. Liness, Phyllis, Lakecia, Dion, Elizabeth, Jerry, Dixie, and Tamara. You guys, I want to thank you for the coffee donations. This cup of coffee and my recent cafe visits are brought to you by the coffee donations. I also want to thank those of you who are taking advantage of the coffee chat. That has really grown, and some of you have shared with me the changes that you are making to either a new job or moving abroad. And so I am always welcome and willing to share my experience in the effort to help you with that. So it's just kind of like a think and share think tank, if you will. Consider me your coach in that aspect. But yes, this great resignation we might see continue for the next several years as people wake up and realize their worth and realize it is okay for me to make some changes. And it starts with the question, what do I want? What do I want to do? How can I make it happen? 2 years after asking myself that question, I am living my dream in La Paz and working from home, years ahead of schedule. So until next time, my friends, thank you for joining me on today's Up Close and Personal Coffee Talk. And I look forward to seeing you next time on Miles and Coffee. Bye for now.